Look at you, hacker. A pathetic creature of meat and bone, panting and sweating as you run through my corridors. How can you challenge a perfect, immortal machine?
Hey everybody, and welcome to episode 14 of Firon's Commentaries of System Shock 2. Well now, we're in my favorite sector of OpsDeck, and we're about to find our first simulation unit. But first I gotta get rid of some clutter. It's at this point in the game that I realized that my cryokinesis attack isn't exactly going to keep me alive. The enemies are getting tougher now, especially with the introduction of the cyborg assassins. And there's tougher enemies yet to be met, so in this episode I acquire some new skills. But first, let's go take care of that simulation unit, shall we?
Inside of this door lies
Alright, one down, two to go. Now, continuing from what I was discussing last episode, I think we're going to learn some more knowledge about Malick and Bronson. There are some interesting bits in this episode about those two. But for the most part, there's not really too much to commentate in the beginning part of this episode. I mean, I just really try to ransack as much as I can before I bail to another area of the sector. We've already completed one of the tasks we have to do here. There's another cyborg assassin in this area that we have to take care of first. Alright, just gonna wait till he turns away.
I am a fully registered tribe. Is a client there?
No, there is no client here. Thank you. Alright. I wonder why. Anyhow, here's another log by our little infamous hacker, Malick.
I hacked into two of the sim units yesterday, and for the love of God, I don't know why. I felt compelled by some power. My mind and my body are changing, but they know it's me. They just can't prove it. The next sim unit that goes down, Bronson and her men will hunt for me. But I'll be ready. She may have guns and hatred on her side, but I am one of many.
So pretty much this guy put 3 override cards on 3 cyborg assassins which anyone can kill, and use those override cards to shift control of the supercomputers to any third party. And he did this knowing that his life was at risk. But there is one redeeming fact about Malick. Knowing he was going to go down, he set up a trap for Bronson and her men at the last sim unit. So I guess he was going to go down with a fight. And again, it's not too surprising considering the mini is quite suicidal, to say the least. No, there's not another. I'd much rather not come to you at all. I'd much rather you just stay on your side of the hallway. You didn't listen. You didn't listen! Yeah, I thought so. Whatever. Let's move on. Alright. Now, I'm not entirely sure why there's a radiation leak there. Ah, crap. Now I gotta kill you too. There! Now you can sleep in peace. Alright, this is the half of the sector where the cyborg assassin is. It's not lightly guarded by any means, but, you know. There he is. There he goes! But I don't want to rush in there just yet. There's a good reason for that. Alright. Yeah, not too much to talk about. I'm preparing for an eventual fight with the cyber assassin, but I need to get that better weapon, otherwise I'm not going to be able to last 2 seconds in that room where he went into. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Just in case. Alright, let's go get that weapon. I think I just heard an explosion.
Before you lies the crystal shard.
I don't know why you're bothering to tell me, Shodan. I'm not really going to use any other weapon besides the Psi Amp. But it does lead up to the weapon I'm going to be using soon.
Deadly, precise.
Couldn't be as precise as the weapon I'm going to be using.
Learn its function.
It may stand
Between you and their corruption.
Gotta love my very long arms. Alright. And I finally acquire the Psi weapon, or the Cerebral Energetic Extension. One of the most powerful melee weapons in System Shock 2. Watch and learn. You can imagine my excitement at this newfound power. But there's still very concrete limitations of this weapon. Sure, it boasts enough power to kill this guy in 3 hits, but you know, he killed himself. Grand. I'll go over the limitations of the weapon in a second. This is the one of the sounds I wanted to point out back in episode 10. Have a listen. They never give any clear indication of where that noise comes from. I mean, since the elevator's out, there's really no way to figure it out, but it's scary nonetheless.
Do not squander them.
It's creepier when you're actually playing the game yourself. Anyhow, here's another log by a guy named Wood.
2 gifts. Isn't that marvelous? 2 little shards of crystal. It's very, very sharp. When I strike it, it sings to me.
They wanted to sing to Sergeant Bronson.
I go there now to share my
Gift with her. They're very fragile.
but very sharp.
The truth about human nature is that when we're up against an enemy that has no clear identity, and often takes our identity, we turn on one another rather than help each other out against our common foe. They play our fears, and we end up destroying one another before we can even put up a worthwhile resistance. All their work is done for them. As the many once said, mistrust is the tyranny of the individual. Cruel reality. Anyhow, this is the end of part 1. I'll see you soon in part 2.